Hey friends, let's get moving. To start, you're gonna need your mat, if you're using one, to stay rolled up for the beginning. Now, if you don't have a mat, that's fine. Just get something else that's kind of wider or longer than it is tall. We're gonna be holding it like this, so a broom would be okay as well. And we are gonna start back here. So before we get moving, I want you to do a test, and I want you to see if you can bend your knees and easily put your mat on the ground, your rolled up mat on the ground. Now, if that feels okay for your knees and your hips, try and pick it up. If that all feels okay for your knees and your hips, great. If it felt a little like too much of a reach, maybe your knees were a little creaky, so you have some options. You can put a small step stool or a chair even in front of you just to bring the ground closer to you, okay? So that is an option if you need to press pause and grab a step stool, or even a block might be enough to help you, or a small Amazon box or something. So go ahead and start with your mat on the floor or elevated. However, and your feet are gonna stay about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. So we're gonna inhale and we're gonna bend down. Now, when we bend down, we're gonna bend our knees and send our tush way back, send the pelvis back, trying to keep the spine nice and long. You're gonna reach down for your mat. And then as you exhale, you're gonna stand up with that long straight back. And then as you hold on to your mat, you're gonna make sure your elbow creases are pointing forward, elbow creases forward. And then you're gonna inhale to lift your mat over your head. Now, you're gonna go as high as your arms wanna go. We're not gonna do a back bend here or lift through the ribs, just where your arms wanna go. Exhale to lower the mat down to your thighs. Inhale, bend your knees, send your tush back, long spine. You're gonna set your mat down, and then right away again. Exhale, pick it up, stand up. Inhale, shine your elbow creases forward, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, thighs to mat or mat to thighs. Inhale, bend your knees and set it down. Exhale, pick it up, stand up. Inhale, lift your mat. Also, your hips are not rocking forward here. Weight stays over your heels. Exhale, mat to thighs. Inhale, bend your knees, mat to ground. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, lift the mat. Exhale, lower the mat. Inhale, bend your knees, touch down. Exhale, stand back up. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, keeping your elbow creases forward. Inhale, bend your knees, touch down. Exhale to stand. Inhale to lift. Let's keep going. Exhale to lower. Inhale, bend your knees, touch down. Exhale, stand up, feeling those glutes turning on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower it down, mat to thighs. Inhale, mat to ground. Exhale to stand. Keep going. You got this. Feel your body waking up. Feel your awareness of your movements waking up. Awareness of your breath waking up. And as you are doing that, squat down, making sure that your knees are not angling out too far or in too far, tracking straight over the second toe. Stay honest with those elbow creases. even on the way down, even as you're lowering the mat to your thighs, stay honest with those elbow creases. Can you feel your heart starting to pump? Your breath starting to speed up, feeling warm in your body. Let's do 3 more. Here's 2. Inhale to touch down. Exhale to stand. Last one. Great, you can leave your mat down there. Stand up. Good job. You did it. And you don't need to spread out your mat right now, but you can if you want. We are going to use it rolled up again in just a moment. So from here, let's go ahead and wake up some of our rotational muscles. Okay, so you're going to lift one knee up and you're going to reach your opposite elbow to knee. Okay, and we're going to go from side to side here. So this might look a little different depending on your body. So the higher you can get your knees up towards your chest, the less you're going to have to be kind of doing this curling movement through your upper spine. So if you can only get your knee this high, you have the choice of either, saying, it's not in the cards for me today, Jen. Or you can play around with bending forward to reach your knee, okay? So you do have options. And maybe your elbow just touches or skims the inside of your knee, okay? Maybe your elbow is able to get to the top of your thigh. Maybe your elbow is able to get to the outside of your knee. So there's actually a lot of nuance to this seemingly simple movement. Now, of course, if balance is an issue, if you're feeling wobbly, you can always do this with your back against the wall, okay? You can also get a chair and just alternate holding on to the chair as you move your arms. Keep it up. You got this. The whole point of this little interlude without the mat is to give our arms a break so that we can then pick up the mat and give our arms a challenge in just a minute. So you have something to look forward to. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead and put your knees down or put your feet down. Let's go ahead and pick the mat back up. Okay, so make sure it's nice and rolled. That's not gonna unroll. And I'm gonna hold on to it on the side where the open flappy part is. I don't know what to call that. So I'm gonna glue that part down so the mat doesn't start to unroll while I'm using it. Okay, so when you're holding a load in one hand, think about like carrying groceries. You can really kind of like displace your body to hold that load up, or you can keep your body in kind of a neutral alignment and use your muscles to hold that up. So we're gonna use our muscles to hold the mat up. So you've got your mat in your left hand, and make sure you're not slumping your ribs over to the right or your hips over to the left to hold that up. So soft shoulders and soft neck, soft jaw. And here we go. We're gonna exhale and lift the mat as high as we can. Notice I didn't go very far. This is a heavy mat. Inhale to lower it back down, and exhale to lift. Inhale to your side, exhale to lift. So you can do this as quickly or as slowly as you want. The thing is that if you go a little bit quicker, you might be tempted to use momentum to fling the mat up there instead of just using your strong muscles. Also, we're challenging grip strength here. So if you need to pause and re-grip or adjust your grip, please feel free to do that. Okay, now on this last one, we're gonna lift it up to the side, and then we're gonna take a really long, slow lower down to our sides. So let's go, try to take 5 counts to get down to your side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Okay, switch it over to your right hand. And here we go. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take your arm out to the side. Inhale, back down by your side. And wow, this arm is feeling a lot stronger than the other arm was. Notice if these upper trap muscles up here are trying to lift the mat up for you. Try to keep your shoulder away from your ear and just using the arm muscles and not the neck muscles. This isn't really a movement that we do a lot on an everyday basis, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to do it or shouldn't try to incorporate that movement. Last one here, if you need to adjust your grip, do so. Go ahead and lift your arm out to the side, and then for a count of 5, really slow, we're gonna lower all the way down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you wanna roll your mat out now, you can. We're done with that. I don't know if you noticed, but this is not the mat that I normally use. The mat that I normally use is really flimsy, and I knew that I wanted to challenge myself. This mat's a lot heavier. Okay, so go ahead and stand with your feet wider than hips. Take your arms out in front of you. Let's stretch out the arms and the chest a little bit, still working those rotational muscles. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, use your left hand to paint across your right arm, open your chest, and extend your left arm back behind you. Exhale. Oh, I did the breath backwards, didn't I? Take a breath in. Exhale to paint open with the right arm. And inhale back to center. There we go. Exhale, opening up to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to twist, really getting that right arm back behind you, or the back arm back behind you, whichever side you're on. One more each way. Inhale to center, last one. And inhale back to center. Go ahead and lower your arms, bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna tune into the rib cage, shift your ribs to the right, and then shift your ribs to the left, okay? So it's not crunch to the right, crunch to the left. Keeping your rib cage in a nice neutral position and just laterally shifting, just sliding from side to side. You can also do this with your back against the wall if you would like, to give you kind of a little bit more tactile feedback about what's going on in your body. You can go quickly or slowly. It's your choice. Just trying to wake up our waist and remind ourselves, remind our bodies that this is a part of us that can move and that wants to move. Okay, we're gonna add some arms now. So as you take your ribs to the right, your left arm's gonna shoot up at a diagonal. And then as you take your ribs to the left, your right arm's gonna shoot up at a diagonal. Okay, so here we go from side to side, from side to side. Okay. And again, you can go quickly, you can go slowly. I don't have a breath cue for you, so you can breathe whenever you want. Just make sure it's happening. Just make sure you're breathing. And then we are gonna take our ribs over to the left and our right arm up in the air. So we've taken our ribs as far to the left as they can go. Now we're gonna let this left side get crunched up. As we enjoy a little stretch in the right side, push down more through your right foot, reach through your right fingertips, take a deep breath, feel your ribs expand. One more inhale. And as you exhale, come back upright. Now shift your ribs to the right. Your left arm comes up at a diagonal. Now here we go. We're gonna make our spine into the letter C. Today's class is brought to you by the letter C. Okay, so now take a deep breath in here on the left side. Maybe pushing down a little bit more through the left foot. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, come back upright. Now go ahead and wake up your hips. Again, you can put your hands on your hips and you're just gonna push one side of the pelvis down and then the other side of the pelvis down. So it's like this. Okay, maybe starting to wake up those outer hip muscles because we're gonna call on them in just a moment. Again, I know you're excited. I am. Okay, so here we go. Go ahead and bring your feet back towards one another. You can stand pretty close together if you want. So we're gonna take an inhale to step the feet out and squat into a wide squat. Then as you exhale, you're gonna stand up and then in one motion, it's stand up and then the right leg comes behind the left for a curtsy squat. This is the inhale. When your knees are bending, you're inhaling. When you exhale, you're standing up, okay? Inhale to bend, exhale to stand up, and the right foot just crosses right behind the left again. So you're inhaling to bend here. This outer hip is moving down. Exhaling, inhale, exhale. Okay, so you can make this a little bit more fluid like this, or if you would like to stop in between and make it more of like two separate moves as opposed to one big step, okay? It's your choice. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Arms are just doing whatever you want them to. I like to keep my arms out in front because it helps counterbalance the weight of my pelvis moving back. Whew. Hello, thighs. Thank you, thighs. Again, you're choosing the tempo. You might be more here, and that's great. You do you, okay? Every day we might want or feel like we need something different for our bodies. We're not the same from day to day, so it's okay to switch it up. Okay, last 3, 2, last one. Whew. Okay, to give our legs a break before we do the other side, come on down to the ground, put your hands on the mat, Spread your fingers wide, elbow creases forward. Let's tune in to our upper back in between the shoulder blades. Find a neutral rib cage and squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another while keeping your rib cage nice and neutral. So I can't really squeeze mine together very much at all with a neutral rib cage. If I wanted to get my shoulder blades all the way together, I would have to do this and displace my rib cage, but I don't want to do that. I want all the movement to be focused right here in between the shoulder blades. I don't want to outsource the movement to my spine or elsewhere. So you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades in. The shoulders are down away from the ears. And then as you exhale, you're going to push and let the shoulder blades come apart, still with a neutral rib cage. So I could get my shoulders more apart by arching through my spine, but I just want that neutral rib cage, remember? So I'm not trying to outsource the movement. So you're going to inhale, shoulder blades towards the spine. Exhale, shoulder blades away from the spine. And as you're pushing the shoulder blades away from the spine, elbow creases stay forward the whole time. Inhale, shoulder blades in. Exhale, shoulder blades apart. So these are scapular retraction push-ups, but with this added awareness or intentionality about the movement of the rib cage, as in really no movement of the rib cage, if you will. Hopefully feeling your heart rate settle down a little bit after those intense squats. We've got 3 more here. Shoulder blades in. As you exhale, push and have the shoulder blades move apart. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, shoulder blades apart. Last one. Inhale, shoulder blades together. Now here, when you push, as you exhale, let's go ahead and pause at the end of our range of motion here. So my arms are shaking. I don't know about yours, but keep your elbow creases forward. Keep pushing through your hands and see if you can equalize the weight between left hand and right hand, and see if you can get any more width in between the shoulder blades. Soft neck. For 3, push, push, push. 2 and 1. Whew, go ahead and relax. Whew. Okay, we're gonna stand up and get back to those squats on the other side. You can do it. So I'm gonna stand over towards the right side of my mat so I have room to step open wide to the left. Okay, here we go. So again, you're gonna step your feet apart. When you bend your knees into the squat, it's an inhale. And then you exhale to stand up. And then you step your left foot back behind your right into the curtsy squat. And this right outer hip points down. You inhale into the curtsy. Exhale to stand. Inhale. Exhale. So remember, you can kind of slow it down, break it down so that it's more looking like this, okay? Or you can speed it up and kind of link the 2 movements together a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you go at your own pace. And why am I having you exhale when you come up from the squat? Well, that's a good question. When you exhale, most of the time your diaphragm moves up and your pelvic floor moves up. So it's kind of a nice idea of everything is lifting you up. From the inside out, you're lifting yourself up. You're strong. You got this. We can do it. Thank you, thighs. And again, if you have committed here to this like faster, more fluid form of this exercise, you can by all means change your mind. You can always slow it down. Just keep moving, okay? Just stay with me, keep moving. For 3, 2, and last one. 1. Oh. Make a little soft fist. Pummel out your thighs. This is not a I'm beating you because I'm angry at you kind of a pummeling. This is a love pummel. This is a thank you for working so hard. And I hope you didn't cramp. Okay. We're gonna bring it back down to the mat. Coming back to all fours. Now my hands are all sweaty. Okay. So coming here to all fours, you're gonna float your knees up off the ground. Okay, elbow creases are still forward. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a breath in. As we exhale, you're gonna rotate your hips to the left and you're pivoting so your left foot comes all the way down. Your right foot points out to the side. Left hand taps the right shoulder. Okay, this is like a really cool breakdancing move. Okay, and then you're gonna inhale and come back to starting position. If you need to tap down with your knees in between to like give yourself a little grace or whatever, do that, okay? I'm all for it. Float your knees up, inhale, exhale. It's kind of a quick movement if you can. Inhale back to all fours, exhale to the left. Inhale back to all fours, exhale. So the opposite hand touches the shoulder, okay? Inhale to hover fours, exhale to the side. So keep going. And again, maybe you're going slow and steady with this movement, and that's great. Maybe you wanna kick it up a notch. And again, kind of eliminating or making that middle point, that middle pose a little bit more fluid. And if you played around with going fast and you don't really like it, you can change your mind. You can slow it down. Keep it up. Whether you're fast, whether you're slow, keep moving with me. For 3, 2, and one last one. Great, knees down. Get off your hands. Okay, here, let's go ahead and sit in kind of a modified 90-90 position here. So you have your left foot getting as close to your right thigh or knee as possible. And then your right heel is out away from the outer right hip. It's not right up on it. Okay, so here, interlace your fingers, put your hands on your head, lengthen your head up into your hands, but not by lifting your rib cage, just by lifting your spine. Enjoy breathing here as you let your hips sink down towards the ground and you keep reaching your head up into your hands. One more. Now, see if you can keep your hands up here on your head and switch your legs. If you need to use your hands though, to help get your body into position, use your hands, it's okay. So again, trying to let your hips feel really heavy. Let your hips sink towards the ground and push up through the crown of your head into your hands. Enjoying some big breaths. Maybe feeling your heart rate slow down. Okay, let's go back to the first side with the legs. So that's the left leg in front and the right leg off to the side. You can take your hands down. Now, we're gonna lean over to the left and put your left forearm on the ground, okay? So my fingers are pointing straight out to the left. My forearm's not crossed like this. It's straight out to the left. And then I'm gonna bring my right hand over to my left shoulder. And I'm gonna take a breath in. And then as I exhale, I'm gonna let my right shoulder dip towards the ground. So I'm coming into a twist here. And then I'm gonna inhale and open back up my chest, and then exhale. Let yourself release into a twist. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, twist. 2 more. Last one. Okay, push yourself up. If you can, no hands, switch sides. Okay, so now we're gonna lean over to the right. Your right forearm's gonna come down to the ground. So my right elbow is kind of in a line with my right hip here. And your fingertips are pointing out to the right, not pointing in the same direction as your toes, okay? They're over here, off to the side. Left hand comes to right shoulder. Take a breath in and exhale. Release into that twist. Let your left shoulder come down towards the ground any amount. And then as you exhale, as you inhale, open up your chest and exhale, releasing. Inhale to open, exhale, slowing it down. Inhale to open, exhale. 1 more. Great, go ahead and come back upright. Okay, now let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. Oh, doesn't it feel so good? Okay, so from here, this is going to be one of those atomic movements that from the outside it looks really small, but boy does it feel big to you on the inside. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your upper arm bones out so that your elbow is at the same level as your shoulder. Okay, and then you're just gonna have your fists kind of pointing up in the air. So I'd like for you to start by just pushing into your elbows and notice what happens in your upper back. Is it easier to push through your right elbow or your left elbow? Or can you push evenly through both? Okay, just information gather. You're fact finding. You're on a fact finding mission right now. Okay. I will ask you to please try to keep your ribs mellow. And if you're having trouble keeping your ribs mellow, go ahead and pop a pillow or a blanket under your head. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find that squeeze in between the shoulder blades that we found in our scapular retraction push-ups when we were on all fours. Okay, so you're gonna start to squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine and then push through your elbows and see if you can just lift your shoulder blades away from the ground any amount. I think mine are still fully touching. They're just a little bit lighter. And then you're gonna relax okay? And then again, first, find that squeeze in between the shoulder blades. The ribs stay mellow. And then push through your elbows. Trying to make like the most tiniest gap between your shoulder blades and the ground. Maybe somebody could slide a piece of paper under your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and relax. And last one, again, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then keep your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Just push through your elbows, trying to lift your shoulder blades away from the ground, but still keeping your rib cage mellow. So you're not thrusting your low ribs towards the ceiling. And relax. Okay, reach your arms overhead, take a stretch up. And then lower your arms down by your sides. Okay, let's do a few bridges here. Take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, lift your hips away from the ground. Inhale, set the hips down. Exhale, hips lift. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Now, this next time you lift your hips up in the air, let's hold the hips. Hold the hips up in the air. Put your hands on your pelvis and just ensure that your hips are level. If you had a little bubble level on your hips, the bubble would be in the middle where your belly button is, okay? So now we're gonna keep our hands here at our hips for a little tactile information. And level one, to kind of start and play around with this motion, would be to lift one heel and then the other heel away from the ground. And as you do that, you're really trying to keep your hips in this level position. You don't want your hips going wonky and falling around, okay? Keep that level, that bubble of the level right at your navel. So this is option one, just lifting the heels. Option two would be to lift the foot. And it's kind of like a march in place, okay? And as you're marching in place, really working to keep the hips level. Hopefully feeling your trunk muscles turning on each time you lift a leg. Your core is really working to stabilize your pelvis here. And that's great. It's doing its job. Your core is doing its job. Keep marching. Think about where you want to march to. How about the beach? Let's march to the beach. My pasty legs could use a little of that sunshine. Keep marching, we're almost there. Almost there. For 3, 2, and 1. Great, go ahead and set your hips down. Bring soles of your feet together, knees apart. Let's chill out here for a moment. Bring your hands to your belly, close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. Blow it out. And again. And blow it out in a big sigh. Last one. And let yourself settle. Give yourself permission to settle. You just worked so hard. With your hands there on your belly, can you feel how your belly moves as you breathe? Enjoy one more breath here. Okay, bring your hands under your legs and help your knees back together. We're gonna take one last hip stretch before we say goodbye today. Let your right leg extend on your mat. Draw your left knee up. Now, you can pull your left knee, steer your left knee over towards your right shoulder. So if you're here and you feel a good stretch on your outer right hip, great. If you don't feel much of a stretch, you can try reaching down for the ankle and pulling a little bit more, okay, as long as it feels good to all your joints. If that doesn't feel good, then you can try pushing the knee away while you're holding on to your ankle, okay? You maybe even decide to kind of stir with your thigh if you're not feeling a lot of stretch, okay? Just move in a way that feels nice for that hip. And let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. So extend your left leg, bring your right knee towards your chest, and then you're gonna steer your right knee diagonally across your trunk so it's pointing towards your left shoulder. And again, if you feel a good stretch on the outer right hip, cool, stay put here. If you need a little bit more stretch, see if you can reach down for your ankle and try pulling the whole leg. Okay, that's another option. Again, remember there's one more option. You can hold on to your ankle and push your knee away. And you can even kind of do this stirring motion with your thigh. So you got options. Choose the one that feels yummy or beneficial, whichever one. Okay. Now go ahead and give both knees a hug into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. And when you're ready, rock it over to one side. Push yourself up. Sit up. Got your relaxation hair. Thanks so much for taking the time to move your body today. Your health benefits you, but it also benefits the people around you and your community as a whole. So by taking good care of your body, not only are you taking good care of you, but you're taking good care of us all. So thank you, really, thank you. I'll see you next time.